Hello and welcome to Cooking in Chagrin Falls. I'm Lisa Braun. We're here today in downtown Chagrin Falls at Chuck's Fine Wines, 23 Bell Street. Come on in and grab yourself some wine or some cheese at Chuck's Fine Wines. Owned and operated by Kurt Hebel for the last 23 years, and I've got to give a shout out to his awesome manager Yolanda and staff Lauren, Sue, and Jen. Thank you, Kurt, for allowing us to have our little show here today. So I own a company. I make fresh, homemade jams, and I named them after my daughter, Sarah Ann. You got it, Sarah Ann Jams. You can find them right over there on the shelf at Chuck's. Also, we got our start 6 months ago right down the street at another family-owned awesome establishment, Miles Farmers Market. That's owned and operated by Big Frank and Little Frankie Camgemi. So I have to say thank you to them. The jams are selling terrific down there. And if you haven't been to Miles Farmers Market, please stop by for their awesome bakery. And they also have a meat department and cheeses. So I love to cook. I'm a foodie. I didn't want this show to be totally about me, so I thought, what group of people could I celebrate? And I came up with senior citizens. You know, they have great recipes and lots of stories and good, wholesome, old-fashioned stories. And who better to have as my first guest than my mother, Sandra Pfeiffer. Mother, thank you for being here and agreeing to be my first guest on our little show. My mother is a fabulous cook. I learned a lot from her and her mother, Eleanor Lineski, who's a terrific baker, known for her bottomless blueberry pies and those wonderful lima beans, right? Oh, Graham, God love you. Okay, so I asked my mother what year she graduated from high school. When was that, Mom?
1955.
And where was that from?
Newberry.
Home of the Black Knights out there down the street in Jaga County. So I have a little trivia question for you. What do you think the #1 rock and roll song was back in 1955? Was it A, Mitch Miller's The Yellow Rose of Texas? B, Elvis's Don't Be Cruel? Or was it C, Bill Haley and his Comets, Rock Around the Clock? Now, you're going to have 30 seconds to go think about that now, but I want you to go grab a pen and paper and maybe another cup of coffee or 6th or 7th like me, because you're going to want to write down our email address and phone number. But, let's see, getting back to that trivia question. Hit it, Patrick.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
That's it. I can see Mom now popping Bobby socks and saddle shoes and everything. So if you guessed that, you're right. Okay, I hope you got your pen and paper. Let's get cooking. Today we're going to be making blueberry balsamic chicken with shallots. And of course we're featuring our Sarah Ann blueberry vanilla jam, one of our best sellers, the other one being strawberry lemonade. So I like to call these one-pan wonders, and you can jazz up your chicken with this recipe. Get everything ready ahead of time. This is going to serve 4. You're going to need 4 chicken breasts, some olive oil, half a cup of balsamic vinegar. I found this fabulous trio of herbs. It came like this in the store. It gets sage and rosemary and thyme, salt and pepper. And I've kind of sped things up for us a bit, but I like the chicken to be flat, so you're gonna, ahead of time, you're gonna need to pound it. I usually put a piece of cellophane over it because it'll be messy, but we've pre-made those chicken breasts. So the first thing you do is you add your olive oil to your hot skillet. Thank you, Mom. And you cook your chicken. You add your chicken. And I like them to be a little bit brown. And remember, you pounded them out pretty thin, so they're going to crisp up pretty quickly. Now after your chicken is set for a while and browned up on both sides, don't get too comfortable, Mom. You're gonna wanna remove your chicken from the pan. Now, while my mom's doing that, shallots. Now, I've got to be honest, folks. I really did not know what a shallot was. And this is how they appear in the store. It looked to me like the farmer forgot to put a lot of fertilizer on the red onion, which is normally this large. It looks like a red onion inside. They're very strong, so you're going to need half a cup of these chopped up. So we removed our chicken. We're going to add our shallots into our pan with the hot oil, and it's got some of the nice chicken drippings in it. And you're gonna wanna stir that around a little bit until they get that nice transparent look, and you'll smell the onions starting. Now, we have our chicken. Oh, I'm sorry. I did pre-mix our jar of Sarah Ann jam and the half a cup of balsamic vinegar into this. So Mom, the next thing is to put in our balsamic, and the blueberry and the balsamic and the vinegar just mix so nicely. You've got a lot of flavors going on there. And actually your chicken is gonna soak up that blueberry and vinegar, balsamic vinegar. So the longer you let anything set, and guess what, folks? You can marinate this chicken ahead of time, however you prefer. It all depends on how much time you have in your day. So, we're going to add our chicken back into our pan, and we're going to let it simmer there and soak up. We're going to have it on low. We're going to let it simmer for probably, at the most, 15 or 20 minutes. I always want to check chicken to see that all the pink is gone. So you let that sit in there, and if you want to start spooning some of the blueberry and shallots over the top. Did we add our salt and pepper, Mom? I know I forgot that last time. You got your salt and pepper to go in there. And basically, that's your dish. Your blueberry balsamic chicken with shallots. I like to serve mine with fresh asparagus and wild rice. Thank you, Mom. Great job. Oh, yes, I forgot. Our trio of sage, rosemary, and thyme. This is the finishing touch. Yeah, they do smell nice. Put the lid on. I can smell it instantly. It's really a beautiful dish. Patrick, I wonder, can you see the inside of the pan? Are you able to walk over and just show our audience how beautiful that is? Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Patrick. Oh, speaking of Patrick, I have to give Patrick a shout out also. Patrick, are you able to spin the camera on yourself, or okay? Next time. So, that's it, folks. That is our cooking show. Now let's just close with a little bit about the Sarah Ann products. All of our Sarah Ann jams are $7.99, and if you'd like me to mail you a jar, you pay the shipping. And for a limited time only, if you order a jam, I'm going to send you at no charge 2 of these Ball Mason commemorative jars signifying their 100-year anniversary. They come in this beautiful purple. I'm going to give them to you. You just pay the shipping. And these awesome jars you can buy. They make nice drinking glasses. You can buy a coin slot at your local craft store. Also a hand soap dispenser. So I want to give this to you. And so you see my email address and telephone number there. If you know of a special senior citizen that you think would enjoy being on the little show here and bringing and helping me out as my assistant, I'd like you to send in their name and number, and I can pull the name out of the hat for next time. Mom, thank you again for being our guest. And finally, folks, when you're compiling that shopping list at home and you're thinking, what have I forgotten? And then you remember jam. I'd like you to remember us. And remember, it's not just any jam. It's Sarah and Jam.
Sarah and Jam.
Thank you.